Do you ever feel like you're caught in a whirlwind of chaotic thoughts? Day after day, you're dragged down by relentless notifications, overwhelming work pressures, and expectations that seem impossible to satisfy. Your mind feels like a battlefield where anxiety, fear, and self-doubt constantly block your way forward. And then you wonder, can I ever find peace in this chaotic world? Take a deep breath. Right now, you are not alone on this journey. Stoicism, with its wisdom forged over thousands of years, may hold the key you've been searching for. It's not just a collection of ancient lessons, it's a way of life, a powerful guide to help you overcome distractions and reclaim control over your mind. Think of your mind as a garden. When you nurture positive thoughts, peace, gratitude, and resilience, you'll see vibrant flowers bloom. But when you allow anxiety, fear, and toxic self-talk to creep in, that garden becomes choked with weeds, suffocating its vitality. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest thinkers of Stoicism, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." So, will you let your mind remain overrun by weeds, or will you start tending to your inner garden today? Are you ready? Let's embark on this journey to rediscover focus and inner peace. But first, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss the valuable lessons ahead. And now let me ask you this. If you woke up tomorrow with complete peace of mind, what would you do differently? In the next section, we'll dive into the battle of the mind, uncovering why we lose focus and how to rebuild tranquility from the simplest things. Let's find the answers together. The battle of the mind, why we lose focus and how to reclaim it. Our modern lives have turned our minds into battlefields. Everywhere we look, something is competing for our attention: relentless phone notifications, an endless to-do list, or the invisible pressure to keep up with everyone else's version of success. But what if I told you that the true enemy is not the distractions themselves, but how we respond to them? Let's pause for a moment and reflect. When was the last time you truly felt focused, present, and at peace? Most of us struggle to recall such a moment because our minds are constantly pulled in countless directions. Every time you allow your mind to wander, to chase unnecessary worries or trivial distractions, you lose more than just time. You lose yourself. Think about this. How often have you sat down to accomplish something important, only to find yourself scrolling aimlessly on your phone 15 minutes later? It's not just frustrating, it's draining. When our focus scatters, we fall into a vicious cycle of anxiety and guilt. The unfinished tasks pile up, the regrets grow heavier, and soon we begin to doubt our own capabilities. In the words of Seneca, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." This inability to stay present doesn't just waste time, it robs us of the joy found in the here and now. But here's the good news: the battle for your mind can be won. And Stoicism offers us the tools to reclaim control. Why we lose focus. Understanding the mind's nature. To conquer any battle, you must first understand the enemy. So, why does the mind so easily lose focus? 1. The mind's need for stimulation. Your brain is wired to seek novelty and avoid discomfort. This was helpful for survival in ancient times, but in today's world, it makes us prone to distractions. Endless streams of information and entertainment hijack our attention, promising quick relief from boredom, but delivering long-term dissatisfaction. 2. The fear of missing out, FOMO. Whether it's the fear of missing a notification or the anxiety of being left behind in the race of life, this subtle yet powerful force keeps our minds restless. Marcus Aurelius wisely warned us, "If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment about them." 3. Overthinking and worry. Our minds often replay past mistakes or obsess over future uncertainties, leaving little room for the present. These thoughts act like weeds, crowding out clarity and peace. 4. A lack of purpose. Without a clear sense of direction, it's easy to get lost in distractions. As Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." How to rebuild focus? Lessons from Stoicism. Stoic philosophy teaches us that focus is not something we stumble upon, it's something we cultivate, like a gardener tending to their plants. Here's how you can start. Step 1. Identify what truly matters. Begin by asking yourself, what is essential? Marcus Aurelius advised, confine yourself to the present. Instead of trying to do everything, focus on the one thing that matters most in this moment. Each morning, write down the top 3 things you need to accomplish that day. Focus on the first task until it's complete before moving on to the next. Step 2. Set boundaries for your attention. Just as a river overflows without its banks, your attention needs boundaries. Decide where your focus will go and, more importantly, where it won't. Turn off unnecessary notifications and schedule specific times to check your email or social media. Step 3. Embrace silence and stillness. Seneca often spoke about the power of reflection. Silence allows you to observe your thoughts, separate the useful from the trivial, and realign with your purpose. Dedicate 10 minutes each day to sit quietly, focusing only on your breath. This practice, though simple, builds immense clarity over time. Step 4. Reframe distractions as tests of strength. Instead of seeing distractions as obstacles, view them as opportunities to strengthen your focus. Each time you resist a distraction, you reinforce your mental discipline. The next time your phone buzzes or your mind wanders, pause and ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Step 5. Celebrate small wins. Progress is built through consistency, not perfection. Each time you focus on what truly matters, no matter how small, you are winning the battle of the mind. A day in the life of a Stoic mind. Imagine starting your day with intention. You wake up early, take a deep breath and remind yourself, today I will focus on what I can control. You resist the urge to scroll through your phone first thing in the morning. Instead, you write down 3 priorities for the day. As you tackle each task, you give it your full attention, refusing to be swayed by distractions. When a colleague interrupts you with a complaint or a notification tries to pull you away, you pause, breathe, and choose your response. By evening, you sit quietly, reflecting on what you accomplished and where you can improve tomorrow. This is not just a day, it's a life lived with purpose and clarity. Why focus is an act of courage? Living a focused life requires courage. It means saying no to distractions, resisting the pull of the unimportant, and facing the discomfort of stillness. But with each moment of focus, you reclaim a part of yourself that was lost to the chaos. As Marcus Aurelius reminded us, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. What thoughts will you choose to nurture today? The battle for your mind is not fought in grand gestures. It's won in the small deliberate choices you make every day. Will you let distractions continue to steal your peace, or will you stand firm and take back control? Let me ask you this. If you mastered your focus starting today, what could you achieve in a week? In a month? In a year? In the next section, we'll explore practical techniques to cultivate this mastery and unlock the full potential of your mind. Stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe to join this journey of transformation. The Stoic philosophy of focus. Focus is a valuable skill, but in today's modern world, it has become a rarity. Each day, we are pulled in countless directions by worries, distractions, and bad habits. The timeless lessons of Stoic philosophy offer powerful tools to help us reclaim focus, enabling us to live a more meaningful life instead of being swept away by the chaos. Why do we lose focus? Every day, our minds are dragged in numerous directions. You might be working but thinking about what happened yesterday, or while having dinner with family, you worry about tomorrow's meeting. This state of being everywhere but nowhere is what the philosopher Seneca referred to when he said, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." So, why is it so easy to lose focus? 1. Unnecessary worries. We often trap our minds in endless what-if scenarios. Fear of criticism, anxiety about the future, or obsessing over past mistakes make us lose sight of the present. 2. Bad habits. Constantly checking your phone, scrolling through social media, or trying to multitask diminishes your ability to focus over time. 3. The pressure to be perfect. When you expect yourself to do everything flawlessly, it creates stress and makes it harder to stay centered. All of this turns the mind into a rushing river, always swept away instead of being guided along a clear path. Stoic principles of focus. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that rather than trying to control everything around us, we should focus on the one thing we truly have power over: our reaction to events. Principle 1. Focus only on what you can control. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This means that instead of worrying about things you can't change, focus on how you respond to them. Practical example. Imagine receiving criticism from a colleague. Instead of letting it stress you out, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Or, when faced with overwhelming work pressure, rather than spiraling into anxiety, focus on completing one small task at a time. When you shift your attention from what you cannot control to what you can act on right now, you reduce stress and become more effective. Principle 2. Monotasking. One of the biggest traps for focus is trying to do too many things at once. We often believe that multitasking helps us get more done, but in reality, it lowers the quality of our work and increases stress. The Stoics advise, do one thing well instead of trying to do many things at once. Fully committing to one task not only makes you more productive, but also brings inner peace. Practical example. While working, turn off phone notifications and set aside a specific block of time for a single task. If you're writing a report, focus solely on writing without checking emails or switching to another project. Let's consider the story of Lynn, an office worker who always felt overwhelmed by her job. Every day, she began with a long to-do list, but by the end of the day, she hadn't completed much because she was constantly distracted by meetings, messages, and emails. Lynn often worried she wasn't good enough. She blamed herself for past mistakes and endlessly worried about what her colleagues thought of her. Her mind was pulled in all directions, leaving her exhausted and aimless. One day, Lynn came across a quote from Seneca. "It is not what happens to you that disturbs you, but how you perceive it." These words made her pause and reflect. Lynn decided to apply Stoic principles to her life. She started by creating a daily priority list, choosing only 3 important tasks to focus on. She also learned to disconnect from unnecessary distractions, turning off phone notifications and scheduling specific times to check emails. Rather than worrying about the future, Lynn began asking herself, what's the most important thing I can do right now? And she committed to doing it with her full attention. Over time, Lynn noticed a significant transformation. She not only accomplished more, but also felt calmer and more confident. Her worries no longer dominated her thoughts, and she learned to live in the present moment. Lynn's story is a clear testament that focus isn't an innate ability, but a skill that can be cultivated through the simple yet powerful principles of Stoic philosophy. Stoic philosophy teaches us that focus is not just a skill for better productivity, it is a path to inner peace. By focusing on what you can control, practicing monotasking, and living in the present moment, you accomplish more and find deeper meaning in life. Ask yourself, what will I do today to improve my focus? And begin right now. Steps to build. Focus. Focus is not an innate gift. It's a skill that can be cultivated. Like any meaningful journey, building focus begins with small, consistent steps. In this section, we'll explore how to apply Stoic philosophy to train your mind, develop habits of focus, and view every challenge as an opportunity to become a better version of yourself. Start small. The power of small actions. Imagine holding a warm cup of tea in your hands. Instead of rushing to drink it while distracted, try sitting down, closing your eyes, and feeling the warmth spread through your fingers. As you take each sip, focus on the flavor, the heat, and the sense of peace in that moment. Starting with small, simple actions like this is the first step to cultivating focus. You don't need to overhaul your entire life to become more focused. Instead, choose a daily activity, like drinking tea, reading a book, or simply breathing deeply, and commit to it fully. Each time your mind begins to wander, gently guide it back to the present. Epictetus, a great Stoic philosopher, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." If you treat each moment as an opportunity to practice focus, you'll gradually strengthen this skill. Practical exercise. Spend 5 minutes each morning taking slow, deep breaths. Focus on each inhale and exhale, noticing the sensations in your body. This simple practice builds calmness and focus for the rest of your day. Focus comes from small, consistent steps. Many people believe that to improve focus, they need to make dramatic changes, such as eliminating all distractions or working tirelessly. But in reality, focus isn't built through drastic transformations. It's developed through small, consistent steps. Think of focus as exercising your mind. You can't immediately lift the heaviest weight in the gym, just as you can't suddenly maintain hours of uninterrupted focus. But if you add small increments of focus each day, your ability will grow over time. Real-life example. When reading, try to complete one section without checking your phone or thinking about unrelated tasks. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the text. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." High-quality thoughts are built through small, deliberate moments of focus, repeated day by day. Cultivate a Stoic mindset. Challenges are opportunities. Stoics view challenges not as obstacles, but as tests for personal growth. Instead of complaining about difficulties or distractions, ask yourself, what can I learn from this challenge? When facing a busy day filled with tasks, don't panic. Use the technique of starting from the present. Focus on completing one significant task at a time, instead of attempting to do everything at once. Practical tip. Each evening, write down the 3 most important tasks for the next day. When you start your day, focus entirely on the first task until it's complete before moving to the next. Seneca famously said, "Life is not about waiting for everything to be perfect, but about doing your best with the conditions at hand." By focusing on the present moment, you not only accomplish more, but also find peace within your mind. An inspiring story, a businessman, and Stoicism. Let's take the story of a businessman named David. He was once overwhelmed by work and constant distractions. His days were filled with non-stop emails, back-to-back meetings, and a never-ending to-do list. One day, David came across a quote from Marcus Aurelius, "Do not let your mind be enslaved by things that do not matter." These words struck a chord, and he began to rethink his approach to life. David started applying Stoic principles to his daily routine. He created a prioritized task list, turned off unnecessary notifications, and spent 10 minutes each morning reflecting and journaling. Gradually, he noticed a remarkable improvement in his focus and productivity. Not only did David become more efficient at work, but he also saw positive changes in his personal life. He spent quality time with his family, listened to them more attentively, and felt more connected than ever before. David's story is a testament to the power of focus, not just in achieving professional success, but also in finding meaning and harmony in life. Focus is a journey, not a destination. It is built through small, consistent habits. Remember this: every moment you dedicate to focusing on the present is a small victory in the battle for your mind. Ask yourself, what small step can I take today to improve my focus? Then, start from this moment. Living in the present, challenges and rewards. Living in the present sounds simple, but in reality, it's one of the greatest challenges we face. In a world that constantly demands us to think about the future, worry about the past, or get pulled into distractions, staying in the moment requires a special kind of courage. Yet, the rewards of living fully in the present are immense. Peace, focus, and the true meaning of life found in each moment. Let's explore why living in the present is foundational for focus, how to overcome the challenges, and the rewards you'll gain when you harness the power of the now. Our minds are not naturally designed to stay in the present. Humans have an innate tendency to dwell on what has happened or anticipate what might come next. While this trait was beneficial for survival, in today's world, it often leads to endless loops of thought, robbing us of joy and focus. 1. Obsessing over the past. Mistakes, unfinished relationships, or moments we wish we could change often dominate our minds, pulling us away from what we can do right now. 2. Fear of the future. Anxiety about the unknown makes it difficult to enjoy the present. Our minds imagine worst-case scenarios, overshadowing the moment with worry. 3. Modern distractions. Technology, social media, and the pressure to stay constantly busy make it harder to remain grounded in the present. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." But achieving this requires powerful strategies. To live in the present, you must actively counter the habits that pull you away from it. Here are some Stoic-based strategies to help you train this skill. Step 1. Focus on sensations and actions in the now. When eating, truly savor the flavors of the food. When working, give your full attention to the task at hand. When conversing, focus on every word and the emotions of the person you're speaking with. Practical exercise. Dedicate 5 minutes each day to doing a single task without distractions. For instance, when drinking coffee, focus entirely on its aroma, warmth, and taste. Step 2. Set boundaries against distractions. The Stoics advised protecting your mind as if it were a precious room. Set boundaries against external factors, such as turning off notifications, limiting social media use, and creating quiet spaces for reflection. Practical exercise. Create a distraction-free zone each day where you work or relax without interruptions from your phone or notifications. Step 3. Turn worry into action. When anxiety about the future takes hold, ask yourself, what can I do right now to improve this situation? Even the smallest action in the present can alleviate fears about the unknown. Practical exercise. When feeling anxious, write down specific actions you can take immediately. This shifts you from a reactive to a proactive mindset. Step 4. Practice gratitude. Gratitude helps you recognize the value of the present. Marcus Aurelius often wrote in his meditations about what he was grateful for each day, which kept him grounded and balanced. Practical exercise. Each evening, write down 3 things you're grateful for that day. This not only keeps you in the present, but also enhances your sense of happiness. When you master the art of living in the present, you unlock extraordinary benefits. 1. Inner peace. By letting go of the past and not worrying about the future, you experience profound relief. The present becomes a safe haven where you can rest and recharge. 2. Improved relationships. When you are fully present in conversations, you create deeper connections. People sense your attentiveness, and your relationships become more meaningful. 3. Higher productivity. Focusing on one task at a time allows you to work more effectively. You not only complete tasks faster, but also achieve higher quality results. 4. Joy in the small things. Living in the present helps you realize that happiness doesn't come from grand events, but from small everyday moments, like the warmth of the morning sun, the chirping of birds, or a comforting cup of tea. An inspiring story. A journey to reclaim the present. Min, a banker, often felt like his life was an endless spiral. He constantly worried about meeting work targets, the future of his career, and what others thought of him. One day, Min read a quote from Marcus Aurelius: "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." This perspective changed how he approached his life. Min began practicing living in the present. Each morning he spent 10 minutes journaling, listing what he was grateful for and outlining his priorities for the day. While working, he turned off his phone and focused entirely on the task at hand. The results were remarkable. Min's work productivity improved and he felt calmer overall. His worries gradually subsided, replaced by confidence and a sense of peace. Man's story demonstrates that living in the present isn't just a philosophy. It's a transformative practice that can change your entire life. Living in the present isn't a destination, it's a journey. It requires patience, discipline, and a bit of courage to let go of the past and the future. But the rewards are invaluable: peace, focus, and a deeply meaningful life. Ask yourself, what can I do today to live more fully in the present? And begin right now. Outro. You've just embarked on a journey to discover the hidden power of your mind, a tool that is not only the foundation of focus, but also the key to a meaningful life. Throughout this video, we've explored why the mind is so easily distracted, how to reclaim your focus, and how living fully in the present can transform your life. Remember this: your mind is your most powerful tool. Learn to care for it and master it. This journey is not about conquering the world. It's about conquering yourself. Once you master your mind, you'll uncover peace, purpose, and your true strength. This journey doesn't require grand changes to begin. Instead, take a small, intentional step toward practicing focus. Spend 5 minutes each morning focusing on your breath, write down 3 important tasks for the day, or simply turn off your notifications during work hours. Choose one small habit to start practicing today. Then, share it in the comments below. How will you begin this journey? If you've found value in these lessons, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss any future insights from Stoic philosophy, a treasure trove of wisdom to help you live a more meaningful life. The journey to mastering your mind isn't easy. There will be moments when you're pulled back by old habits, distractions, or worries. But remember this: anything worthwhile is never easy to achieve. Take courageous steps forward, one small action at a time, one day at a time. Each moment you focus on the present, every time you control your thoughts, you're moving closer to the best version of yourself. Let's walk this path together. Not only will you master your mind, but you'll also unlock the life you truly deserve.